Hey there and welcome to another Halo action figure review. Today we are taking a look at the highly anticipated, much wanted Mongoose four-wheeler and yet another Master Chief action figure. I'm not going to show you the sides of the box, the behind. It's all kind of this green color. We've got Master Chief running in a purple haze on the back like we've seen on all the other vehicles and all the other figures. So I just want to get this thing open. Let's take a look at the Mongoose. Along with the Mongoose and Master Chief action figure, we get a rocket launcher. And it's a pretty neat looking rocket launcher. It's got grays and blacks on it. Here's the handles and another handhold there. We'll flip this around. There's a peg right there, so it can peg onto the back of the figures, just barely, but it can do that. It can go one way or the other, whichever way you want to put it on there. Now, unfortunately, I had a small issue with dealing with Master Chief. As you can see, his right arm has broken off. Yes, not fallen off, but actually broke off. What happened was I usually test out the articulation off camera just to make sure everything is working nice and smooth and I don't have to warm some things up. I barely went to lift it just a little bit and the whole thing just snapped right off. So that's something that was on me, but what that tells me is this was a really, really tight joint in there. So a quick word of warning, yeah, it may not be a bad idea to dunk all these figures in really hot water for a short while, kind of loosens some things up. That I wasn't expecting. It started lifting up just like it was gonna rotate and then snapped right off. So other than that, I mean, the articulation's the same as all the other Master Chiefs. Everything about this figure seemed to be pretty good until that point. The head moves around, the arm rotates, and the shoulder lifts, and the elbows go back and forth with a hinge and rotates, and you've got the wrist rotation and the hinge right there. Torso wiggles actually probably better than it did before. You do about that kind of splits. You've got the thigh, armor, leg, whatever rotation, double pin at the knees, and then the ankles rotate, and they do have a hinge. It generally works really pretty good, except for he's missing an arm. So, for the remainder of this video, we will be bringing in a substitute Master Chief, because it's not like we don't have plenty of Master Chiefs by now. And really and truly, you're buying the set for this. If you're buying it for Master Chief and this, well, I apologize, if you have a problem with your figure. But primarily, a lot of people will have a solo Master Chief or Master Chief in another set, and you're really just looking for this Mongoose vehicle. So I'm going to set this off to the side. We're going to take a look at the Mongoose here real quick, and then I'm going to bring in a couple figures. So this vehicle, this little four-wheel drive, is very, very cool. I love the look. I love the detailing. Like with all the other Halo action figures and even the Warthog, it's got a bit of metalware. What appears to be like a metalware. I hope you can see that on the camera, where it looks like it's been scraped up. It's been well used. I think you can see it much better down here. It's the silver shine stuff. It's really neat. It's got a seat here for the driver, and on the back it's got a seat for a passenger, and there are pegs that you can peg in the figure. Flip this onto the bottom, you can actually pull these wheels down and give it a higher profile in the back. So you can keep it lower, you can bump it up higher, and yeah, the rolling makes, if you can see, it's kind of a bumpy look, bumpy feel there, because of the nature of the types of tires it's got. This is similar to the Warthog in they're a bit of a, not soft rubber, but they are a bit of a rubber tire. They're harder rubber. And that's kind of cool. And so it's gonna bump around a little bit, at least on this flat surface, and that may be reflecting into the microphone at the moment, so I apologize for that. The handlebars do not control the wheels. They don't rotate, they're just there, so there's no connection. Looks like something through here should move. It looks like these are separate pieces on the front, and I don't want to break it to see if they come out. So I'm not going, well, something moves around in here. Maybe that's just a connection place. But I'm not going to pry those out. You can tell me in the comments if you have this and if you were gutsy enough to pry it out. The detail on this is really cool. The coloring is really cool. This is a very, very neat little four-wheel drive. Oh, there they go. Little off-roader thing. This is really cool. Yeah, I really like this. This is pretty neat. I'm going to bring in Substitute Master Chief now. Hello. Okay, that might have been kind of poor. We're going to put him on this because Master Chief came with this. So why not put him on a vehicle he came with, right? So I'm going to hook him on there. Going to see how well we can do it. Apologies if this is out of focus at any point. I will make sure that when I am done doing the posing that it's back in focus for you to see. So he got his hands on the handlebars. Kind of got his feet there. So it's a little, he doesn't sit perfectly, but you know what? It doesn't matter if he sits perfectly or not. There we go. We got Master Chief, oh boy. He's on the warthog. He's on the Mongoose. He's on the trail. So yeah, he looks pretty neat on that thing. Now on the back here, we've got this Spartan. And we're gonna try him out. Maybe I chose the wrong one. Maybe this one doesn't sit so well. Kind of just like, he's like kind of there. I gotta be careful. This, the left leg of this figure falls off if you bend it up too high. Now, one thing I'm noticing you want to be careful of is you're gonna have to hold the bottom of this if you want to peg the foot in, because if you just push this down, it could break on you. It could break on you. So if you really truly want to peg them on there, like that, as best as you can. Again, you know, he's not apparently going to sit either. He's not going to sit either. There, something like he can slouch on it. He can slouch. And he had a rough night. It was a big party. We'll just kind of do this. It was a big party last night, wasn't it? He's a little worse for the wear there. I'm gonna bring my camera up real quick. Anyway, here's the Mongoose. This is a fun vehicle. I like this vehicle. Gonna take these guys off. Gonna take them off. Gonna grab, let's see, which figure am I gonna grab here? Something that, we'll grab a Snake Eyes. So this is what Snake Eyes looks like standing next to the Warthog. Oh, he's got a gun in his hand. Let's take that out. And just for a quick size comparison to remind everybody, that's about their height difference right there. So could G.I. Joe, a modern era G.I. Joe, fit on this vehicle? Well, of course they could fit on it, but do they even look good on it? I don't know. So probably you could use this for G.I. Joe if you wanted to, but it might be just a little big. Might be just a little big. Let's see. Who else do I have sitting around up here? I got to recruit Jonesy. So, like, here you go. Like, you could have. I apologize. It may not look great, but you could have like 2 figures sitting on that front seat, or you could have, you know, this like this, and you could do something like that. I would say this almost scales with G.I. Joe and Fortnite, almost, but because it's probably meant to scale with the Spartan armor of Master Chief and so forth, that it may be just a little bit big for what you're wanting. The Warthog, I think, scaled really pretty good for G.I. Joe. It might have been just slightly bigger. But, yeah, this is definitely scaled, I would say, for these Master Chief Spartan related figures. And so, that's got to be on your call if you want to get this for G.I. Joe related type stuff or not. Yeah, so that's about it. It's a really neat vehicle. I think it's totally worth it. Even if your Master Chief breaks, you know, it might be a $10 or $15 vehicle beyond that, but I still think this is a pretty cool little vehicle. So I'd highly recommend it. Even though my Master Chief broke when I bent his arm up, I still highly recommend this set. If you can find it, get it. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you appreciate this video, if this was helpful, please, drop a thumbs up for me. And if you want to be notified when more of these types of videos show up in the future, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon and you will be notified. Again, have a wonderful day. We'll see you in the next video.